Husky fans, welcome in. NIU Spring Football Report. I'm Andy Garcia. Glad you could join us. Our first of a couple coming up as NIU football has started spring practice, getting ready for the 2022 season. We know how 2021 went. MAC champs. Can they repeat in 2022? We'll see. It starts here in spring practice. Again, we're going to have a couple of these coming up during spring football and get you affiliated and acclimated with the team this year. Going to hear from Eric Eidsness in this episode, talking a little offense. Later on in some other episodes, we'll talk some defense, and later on in the spring, we'll hear from head coach Thomas Hamnick. But first things first, let's talk some offense and the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, Eric Eidsness. Coach, appreciate the time. I know you're just getting underway with spring practice, but what have you seen so far from your offense?
Yeah, it's been great just to get out. I think the biggest thing is just we've been challenging the guys to grow football IQ-wise. Obviously, we were very young a year ago at quite a few positions, and the opportunity to get on the field, see what they've accomplished in the offseason from a football understanding, it's really exciting. And so getting out there, our biggest thing right now is to just elevate our passing game, really to match our running game. And, with a lot of young players being put in different roles last year, they had to grow. And, last year, Tyrese missed 5 games with an injury. Cole Tucker missed 6.5. Miles Joyner missed 7. So that forced a lot of those other guys into playing time. And now I think what you're seeing is the confidence. The guys that are more confident in what they're doing, how to read defenses, how do I get to where I'm supposed to be. Rocky did a great job in the offseason working with guys when we couldn't be there or we were on the road recruiting. And I think it's very critical, when your quarterback can talk to them about what he sees, how he sees it, because he's really an extension of our staff. And I think that those guys hearing from him as well really helps them grow and just understand, from his position, how important it is for them to be in the right spot.
And again, with the youth now, though, you've got 9 starters returning. What kind of comfort level does that bring you, though, when you've got that type of returnees? And again, they were young last year. Now they're all veterans.
Right. A lot of confidence. It gives you, a feeling, just the growth that happens from being on the field. And even though you're maturing during a season, it's something like once you step away from it and then you go back to it, it really helps, that maturity. I think the biggest thing for us right now is, our offensive line is very strong. We've developed more depth there. Just losing Braden Patton, not that just, but, only losing him as a starter. And then with the amount of guys that we played up front, that really, makes it easier for the other positions to come out and play fast. And so really excited about, where the guys are, having them, basically back for another year to grow and develop and try a few new things. But really, what we've been talking a lot about is assignment-wise, we're sound, but our technique, how can we grow in our technique? How can we get better? How can we understand defenses better? Just as far as what they're trying to do to us when they align in certain ways. So it's fun to see that grow, and that's that confidence piece from being on the field and doing your job, and then being able to have others count on you.
You won the championship last year, and it doesn't seem like you guys have kind of look back and go, oh, we've got that championship. We can kind of lay back. It doesn't seem like that's been the approach that I've seen from spring practice so far. It just seems like that focus has been strong, especially so far that you've seen on your offense.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about, in the offseason, obviously last year, but since 2012, nobody's repeated as MAC champion. Yeah. And so if you look at history, you got to say, hey, what are we going to do to change that? What are we going to do to not rest on last year? And how are we going to continue to grow, stay hungry, and do that? And I think just knowing that stat is something that should motivate you from that standpoint. Like, here's the goal, here's what we want to get to. But obviously, a lot of people have fallen short when they've had, good teams and done some things. So, we constantly remind guys that, don't live in the past, live in the future, and continue to grow. And I thought in the offseason in the weight room, they did a great job attacking there. And, so far, early on in spring, I'm very happy with, the effort, the energy. Practices have been pretty spirited, which is fun. And that's the way it should be. It shouldn't be, a chore to go out there and a game that we grew up, loving. So it's been very exciting. And obviously we know what the challenges ahead of us, and we have to, make a step toward that every day.
We heard from offensive players saying that there was plays left on the field. How can you not leave them on the field for this year and make those types of plays?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like I said, is it's the detail of our work. And so whether it's, in the passing game, recognizing coverages, we talk a lot about ball security, and just hanging on the football. I mean, that's a big deal. You get, in the MAC championship game and, you hang on to the football, they turn it over, those are momentum changing plays. So we have to do our job as far as hanging on to the football. But we really are talking a lot about the detail of our work. And, so just inches in this game are a big deal. And so just being in the right spot at the right time, getting there faster, being more confident as far as, whether it's an O-lineman, how to block a defensive lineman, running backs. I mean, we had a lot of young backs play a year ago, and for them to be a year older, just more experienced, more confident in what they're doing, we can ask them to do more. And I think those are important deals. So, yeah, there was a lot of plays, left out there. Football, coach says it all the time. It's not a game of perfect, but when you get an opportunity and the lights are on, you've got to be able to execute. And that's really what we're telling them, is that we're going to, continue to challenge it to a high standard so that when, the games are being played, it becomes easier.
Who do you want to see step up on the wide receiver side? Again, you only lose Tyrese Ritchie. How much better can Trayvon Rudolph be? We know he can get better, but what are some of the other names on that wide receiver core?
Yeah, like I said, we have the obvious guys, Cole Tucker and Trayvon, but I think that, we want to see some of the young guys as far as what can they do? How is their offseason? So Mason Pierre-Antoine is a guy that has had a good offseason, came in around 160 pounds. He's about 185 now. You add that, size and strength, and that makes a difference. See what he can do. Mohamed Toure, a really good offseason. We utilized him in a role a year ago. Hopefully, we'll challenge him to expand that role and get out and do more things. I think that's really important. Billy Dozier has done a nice job on special teams in the past. He's had a good offseason. He's doing some things, very well right now, and I think that's important. Obviously, Shamar Thornton transferring in. We're getting to see what his skill set is and what he's capable of doing. Obviously, as you learn a system, it takes a little bit of time, but I think that's something that, we'll see, what he can do and how he can fit into our offense. And, I think tight ends wise as receivers, like I said, Miles Joyner missed 7 games a year ago. So we're still kind of finding out, what Miles can do. He had a really good summer last year, and then, an initial injury and then another injury. And, so I guess, we need him to stay healthy to expand that way. So those are some things, that I think some players that I think are young that have either played a little bit or, potentially haven't played a lot or redshirted, and, we need to see what they can do. How can they step up and do it? And we're giving them all, like right now, there's 9 guys that have basically gotten very similar reps. Yeah. And we're trying to rotate different guys in, use them in different roles, stress them a little bit, not just play the safe guys in spring ball, because we kind of know what they can do. They need to refine their craft, but we need to see who else can step up. And really, last year we had a number of times where it was next man up, and we have to, build more depth in that room too, so that when those things happen, other guys are ready to step up and do the job. And, they seem like they're up for the challenge, and now we just got to see them continue to grow.
Last question for you, Coach. Just how important is this spring practices right now? These early spring practices, how important are they as you get ready for this 2022 season?
Yeah, I think right now is such a huge evaluation piece for us. And, people are like, well, evaluate, you most of your guys are back. Yes, but what, the growth, the maturity, what can they do? We have to see, who is going to take over some of the touches that we had planned for different people in the past. So every year is a new team. You have to evaluate those guys. Who are your playmakers? How are you going to get them the football? How are they going to fit into your system, to be able to make plays? And then once you get done with spring ball, you go back, you evaluate that, some of the guys you're going to be right on with, maybe guys that have done a lot of contributing in the past, but the new guys, what are they capable of doing? How can they fit in? And I think then you go back in the summer and you're putting it all together and you're getting ready for fall camp, which is really your roadmap for this season. And then you have to build your contingency plans. And that's what you're trying to find out, in this spring ball is, who do we think can continue to develop that we're going to be able to count on? And we talk a lot to the players like, this is a big time to build trust. We have to be able to trust you on the football field to get on. And right now, nobody is winning and losing. So it's a great time to go out and play hard, try some things, but really be consistent in what you're doing in your work. And then we know that we can trust you. And when we can trust you, we can, elevate your role to more things. And I think that's something that the guys are understanding and they're looking at. And obviously everybody's competitive. They want more reps, but I tell you, hey, make every rep count. It's really, really important. So huge time for us right now, the spring. Some people would say, yeah, just get these practices in. We really look at it as a huge time for us to evaluate. We do a ton of teamwork because that's where you find out if kids can play football and what they're capable of doing.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time. Looking forward to it. Coming out some spring practices and looking forward to seeing just what's going to happen in 2022. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. Appreciate you covering us and checking us out, and excited for you to get out there and see what our guys are doing right now.
Appreciate the time. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Andy.
That was offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach Eric Eidsness. Now we get the chance to talk to some of the players on the offensive side. We get to talk with a couple of offensive players. We'll start with Liam Soraghan from Dearborn, Michigan. 6th year now. Liam's now with the program. And Trayvon Rudolph from Crete, Illinois. 3rd season now, a sophomore overall, second-team All-MAC, kick returner and wide receiver. They join me now here on the NIU Football Spring Practice Report. And Liam, I'll start with you. You've been with the program now since 2017. Your emergence has grown each year. Talk about coming back, spring practice, coming out for a championship. Are you guys still hungry after coming out from that 2021 season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hunger never stops. We're always going to be striving for more and striving for better. That's obviously our goal here. We feel like we left a lot on the table even last year, even with the success we had. So, we're hungry for more. We feel like we still have more to give and more to get. So, we're coming back, and it's been crazy. Like you said, 6th year. I feel like it's been an eternity, but also been a few minutes since I've been here. So, it's been awesome to see the program grow every year I've been here. And just keep getting better. The culture's gotten better every year that I've been here. As a player, as a older guy now, having part of building that culture, it's been great.
Trayvon, for you, 1st year, 0-6. 2nd year, you win a championship, and now you're getting ready for your 3rd season. You get that championship, then you got to go back and get ready in the grind. How's that been for you getting back into spring practice?
I'll say it's great just because just with us going 0-6, we already knew what we had to do on the field and off the field, like in the weight room. Just every day at practice, without the cameras, without everybody knowing what we were doing. So I had no doubt in our mind, like what we could do with us still being like me starting here 0-6, and then last year we becoming MAC champions. Just us grinding in and out every day when we have our opportunity to come practice, lifting everything. I just knew we had the ability to do that.
Liam, the tight end room, talk to me about the depth and what you guys are going into with this 2022 season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got 3 guys that played all last year coming back, and me, Miles Joyner, and Tristan Davis. We got a couple of young guys coming along in spring ball, working their way through. So, that just adds to the depth of the room. And I think, we're going to see a lot of different packages, a lot of different personnel out there. Everyone can contribute in different ways. So we're looking to have our best players contribute in different ways and, help us overall just make the team better when we're out there.
Trayvon, talk about that wide receivers room, because you lose Tyrese Ritchie, but you got everybody else and you got more depth coming in, and you're going to become more of a leader too. How would you describe that wide receivers room?
I'll say, losing Richie, that's is a big part, but at the same time, he helped us out before he left, giving us the keys of what to do. I say, relationship, us having a great relationship in the wide receiver room helps us motivate each other and just even though like some of them been here probably like 3 years, like having Cole Tucker, he's still here,
Yeah.
but having some freshmen that already came in, it's just like our room is just filled with relationships, and like we're close. So I feel like we're ready to ball out this season.
Liam, talk about what you want to achieve and your strengths as you come into your last season here at NIU.
I think my main objective is, obviously team goals, team oriented. We want to win every game. We think we can win every game on our schedule this year, and obviously that's the goal. We think, no matter who we face, we have the opportunity to win the game, and obviously repeat as MAC champions. That's always the goal. That's kind of what we have been talking about all off season. It's easy just to win one, but it's hard to sustain. So I think as a team, we're looking to sustain. And then personally, I just want to grow as a leader. Want to be a voice for, the young guys and the people that are, coming into their own in this program. I want to leave a mark and kind of leave that good quality that, every selfless player that everyone should be, and to be part of this program.
Trayvon, for you, what are some of the goals you have for yourself as you try to develop here at NIU?
I say like team goals. Yeah, Liam said it all. That's become MAC champions again and everything. But like personally, my first 2 years here already became second team on MAC. So I'm pushing for the first team on MAC, and just still growing and everything. I'm still young. Still learning new things here and there. So growing, detailing my route and everything, learning the plays in and out, just not knowing one spot, but knowing probably the whole offense, and somewhat learning like what the O-line can do too. That's just, having the vision in the playbook and out, and, still learning some of the defense. But yeah, it's just me becoming a better version of myself than last year.
A little bit of football. Let's get out of that. Liam, I'll go to you. What are some of the hobbies? I know I already have a degree in mechanical engineering, but what are some hobbies? What are some things you try to do outside of football?
I just enjoy hanging out with the guys. I always have friends from home and friends from here. I always try to talk to them, keep in touch with those guys. Trying to read a little more right now, expand some knowledge, trying to get into that. But, other than that, in schoolwork, in season with football, I just kind of try to keep it low key, hang out with some friends, just keep it chill.
Yeah. Trayvon, what about you? What do you do away from football? What are some hobbies that you have?
Really, I really got 3 best friends that I hang with on a daily, Devin, Billy, and Dave. So usually we're just kicking it. If we're not, if we're done with homework or anything like that, probably going out to eat, playing a game, just chilling, talking, listening to music. That's really on a daily basis. But like, if I'm not back at home, probably just hang with my family, my close friends. But when I'm out here, just hanging with my 3 best friends.
Liam, you're a little bit of a character. I know that. I mean, you've got that blonde hair. I tried to go blonde one time when I was younger too. It didn't look great. But talk about the character on this offense and some of the jokesters or some guys that make you laugh on the offense.
Yeah, well, I'll start off with the tight end room. I think we're one of the funniest groups on the team. Obviously in our position meetings, I don't think there goes a day where we don't laugh or joke around with each other. I think that's great. And then that just applies to the rest of the offense. And I think knowing each other for so long and, being really close to everyone, you can sense more of a joy to be out there rather than a seriousness. Right. Obviously in serious situations, we're all serious, we know when to work, but the ability to goof around with each other, make jokes. Obviously, when the good plays happen, people are jumping around, doing fun stuff. I think when you grow as a team, you can, grow and joke around more. So I think that's kind of what we've been seeing in recent years.
Trayvon, I got a question for you. What's better, catching a long touchdown pass as a wide receiver or returning a kickoff for a touchdown? What's a better feeling?
I'll say my experience is because my 2 years I actually played wide receiver. I'll say a kick return just because that feeling was way different just because I've been I just been thriving for it was I had 2 opportunities the COVID freshman year, but when I finally got it last year, it was just it's amazing. So I say I'd take the kick return.
We were waiting, Trayvon. We were waiting. We knew it was coming. And we finally saw it. I mean, talk about Rocky Lombardi. Talk about the quarterbacks, because you got such a veteran in Rocky. and he's coming back and he's going to be better. You talked a little bit, and I'm going to ask Trayvon the same thing, but how much better can this offense be?
I think we could be substantially better. Obviously, we're not perfect. There's always so many things we can clean up on, especially like in our small details and how we operate. Obviously we had a lot of big plays last year, but we could have had even more when we watched the film, just because of one or two things, technique wise, anything like that. And I think having Rocky is huge. Obviously coming back, he is the offense, just in no pun intended there, but just he's the guy that leads us all. We can only go as far as he wants to take us, from that standpoint, and he is pushing everyone to be their very best. We're having installs every day, stuff that hasn't been put in since the season, and all of a sudden we're just in the middle of it and everyone's executing. But that's because he can do so much, and we can go so much farther in what we know and what we do. So just him being here, expanding his game, expands the whole offense as a whole and what we can do.
Yeah. And Trayvon, for you as a wideouts, and I know Coach Hammock's talked about it too. You want more big plays. You want to have Rocky throw, so show more of the arm. You got such a good running game. Teams are going to try to slow that down, but I know you guys want to have some big plays. I know you've talked about it, Trayvon, making those big plays and getting big time points and getting long touchdowns. I know that you guys want to have some bigger touchdowns and some longer touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I say just like with his knowledge of the game, his vision, it just helps us out. He's teaching us some stuff he know, like defensive wise, helping us out, read coverages and everything. Just not so he know where to throw, but just like us, we can know where we're going, what we can do and what we can't do, and we can adjust and let him know what's going on. So he's just not the only one out there just let me tell him to do this, or let me tell him to do that. I could get him some weight off his shoulders and let him this is what I see. This is what we can do and can't do. So I say, his knowledge and vision is it's a lot. And it meant a lot just to have him and an experienced player, just because, I really didn't know the defense and I never thought about it that way. So him helping us out, it's a lot of.
All right, some quick ones before I let you go, okay? Real quick hitters, easy ones. I'll start with Liam. Plane trip or bus trip? Which is better?
Plane. I love plane.
All right. Trayvon, plane trip or bus trip?
Plane trip.
All right. Liam, music on your warm-up tape is?
I listen to a bunch of different stuff. I like some country in the beginning, some EDM, stuff like that. Kind of whatever I'm in the mood for.
I like it. Trayvon, what's on the warm-up tape?
I start off with hip hop. I start off with some Lil Durk, but usually I start off, then I end it with some the Madden song. But I say it's really hip hop, just so it gets me going. So
I got
yeah.
All right. Liam, go-to karaoke song.
Mine. I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys.
That's a great song. Really good karaoke song. I like to sing.
It gets the people going. That's what it's all about. The less you sing, the better. So if they sing with you, it's better.
Correct. Trayvon, what's your go-to karaoke song?
Tink, Treat Me Like Somebody.
That's good. All right, one last one.
Know that.
Yeah, I like that. Liam, one last one for you. What sport would you be playing if you weren't playing football?
I'll go with basketball. Since I'm such a big guy, I've always been playing basketball competitively. So I'll go with that.
Yeah,
I can shoot a little bit.
You can box some people out. You'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
Trayvon, what would you be playing if you were playing football?
I'll be on the boards.
Yeah, you'd be all right. What would you be playing, Trayvon?
I'll say I'll be running track right now. Yeah, I like running. So.
Well, guys, I appreciate some time with you. And again, you guys with the championship and how you guys did it last year was so much fun to watch. I'm expecting big things again. I know you're just starting spring practice, and have fun with it. Good luck, and we're looking forward to what the offense can do this year.
Appreciate it. You too.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's always great to hear from Liam and Trayvon. They're going to be big parts of this offense in 2022. Before we wrap things up today, a couple things to mention. Season tickets for all 6 home games on the Huskies 2022 schedule are on sale now. NIUHuskies.com/tickets. or by calling 815-753-PACK. Tickets start at $97 for all 6 games, For general admission, East Side tickets, or purchase a minimum of 4 reserved season tickets to the Husky plan for just $88 each. Season ticket members can renew their season tickets for 2022 by logging into their My Huskies account. So get in there, get those season tickets available now. NIUHuskies.com/tickets or 815-753-PACK. Also, mark your calendars and make plans now to come out and get your first look at the 2022 Huskies at the Spring Showcase. That's on Saturday, April 16th at 10 a.m. at Husky Stadium. I know I'm bringing the family out. The kids will have a good time. Come out, watch practice, hear from head coach Thomas Hammock, and again, bring the kids because it's going to be a Husky egg hunt after practice. Hundreds of eggs filled with candy will be on the field ready for pickup, and the NIU football team will be there to help. I know they're going to have kids divisions. I'm hoping they have an adult division. I want to get out there, get some eggs, but that's coming up on Saturday, April 16th, 10 a.m. at Husky Stadium. Will be the Spring Showcase. Looking forward to that. Again, that'll wrap up this NIU Spring Football Report. Again, we're going to have some others coming up in the upcoming weeks, some defensive talk here from head coach Thomas Hammock, as well as we get ready. See what football can do in 2022. Coming off a MAC championship again. Can they repeat? We'll see what they can do. It all starts here in spring practice. Special thanks to Eric Eidsness, Liam Soraghan, and Trayvon Rudolph for joining me this week. Again, we'll talk to you next week right here on the NIU Spring Football Report. Until then, go Huskies.